All right, fellas, good afternoon. A couple quick thoughts about defensive secondary play. If you're a corner, free, or the other corner, any of the linebackers, this particularly applies to you. And today's date is 7/17/2011. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of tips related to secondary play. First of all, these are the different zones that we can see on a football field. If this is an offensive formation, and here's the fullback, quarterback, and tailback, the area on their side of the ball, in front of the flat, so to speak, is the swing area. This is the swing area. And one of the routes we run is a swing route where the ball carrier runs or the receiver runs to that particular location. This is identified as a swing. On the other side of the ball, in roughly the same dimensions, we identify the flat area. This is the area towards the sidelines and outside the hash to a depth of 6 to 8 yards over that way is the flat. So that's a flat area, and this is the other flat area. In the center is an area we're going to refer to as delay. Sometimes as a Mike backer, you're going to drop and look for delay routes, things that come across the middle, usually from outside in. So that's a delay area. Behind this, which you can kind of call level one of your defense, you have secondary areas in what we can identify as a second area, and these are the hook areas. So sometimes as a Will or Mike backer, you're going to be told drop hook to curl. Hook is here and curl is here. You're going to sit down over this way. This is hook to curl. And as the bear and the joker, you know that your area oftentimes is called the flat, and the flat area is over here. We're going to angle run to those areas like I showed you in some earlier illustrations and discussions. And if you're the flat player, you are angling to an area that covers this area known as the flat. Also, we have hooks then on either side of the football. Hook area, hook. Outside the hook is the curl, and outside the curl is the out. The area behind that, which could be thought of as a third area, can be divided into thirds, or it can be divided into equal halves, as you see over here. You take the field like this, and this is one deep half, and that's the other deep half. So based on different coverages, you can be asked to cover different areas of the football field, but these are terms and names that you should become familiar with. Let's look at cover one. Cover one, fellas, is a man-to-man coverage with a free safety. In this case, you see the free safety. He has no man responsibilities, but rather in this defense, he's kind of the center fielder. He needs to be deeper than all other receivers once the ball snapped and recognized pass, and no one can get behind him. His job then is to be late over the top to his left or to his right with any vertical routes that come, and anything that's underneath him then will break and come back too. But this is a good defense because we're going to man up everybody else. We're going to cover every eligible receiver. The free safety is going to drop, and he has to mirror the quarterback. If the quarterback rolls that way, he rolls that way. If the quarterback rolls the other way, he's going to mirror him also. And it's important for him to understand that he is our last line defense and that he cannot be deep, and everything must be in front of him on any passes that we see. Let's start by looking at the corners. Corners have the number one receiver. See, here's the number one receiver. Here's the number two receiver to hit this side. Over here, this is the number one receiver. That's the number two receiver. And this is number three receiver. Well, the corners are locked man-to-man with number one. Corners are locked man-to-man, number one. He's your guy. Wherever he goes, if he goes in motion, you stay with him. If he goes vertical, meaning straight up the field, he's yours. If he goes here, he's yours. If he goes there, he's yours. If he does anything, no matter what he does, he's your guy. You've got to be with him. Sometimes we'll play man off the ball like this in what's called a kind of a looser technique. Sometimes we'll walk you up and play press man, and we'll bring you right up on the football and ask you to look at him, put your hands on him, and ride him wherever he goes, stand on his inside pad, follow him throughout the field. So corners are, in this defense, in cover one, you are man-to-man with the widest receiver. Bear and the joker, you have number two. See, joker number two in this case is this guy right here. Now, it's a little harder to cover because he's in the backfield. Most of his routes will take him to this side. If we find that there's a problem with him going to the other side of the football over here, we can make some adjustments and look at that later. But right now, jokers, you have number two, the weak side. This being number 1 week, this is number 2 week. So he is yours. Wherever he goes and whatever route he might follow or ball he might carry, then he is yours. So on this side corner, you have number one. The bear, you have number two to the strong side. In this case, that's a tight end. So you are man-to-man with number two, in this case, a tight end. Sometimes we'll play you in a walkway position, as we've mentioned before. Sometimes we might walk you right up to the ball in a 9 technique and ask you to jam him and run with him wherever he goes. The Will and the Mike, you have number 3 to your side. So you can see in this case, for the Will, there is no number 3 weak. So what Will is going to do is he's going to get a little depth, and he's a hole player. He's going to be the crossing route. guy right here. We'll talk about this on the field. But if the quarterback drops back, and there is no number 3 to your side, your job is to mirror the quarterback and look for anybody crossing in. Anybody crossing in, you want to collide to the best of your ability. But your job is really to help contain the quarterback, because we're going to be rushing 1, 2, 3, and 4 men, and you've got the best vision of the quarterback. You should be yelling, in this case, pass, ball, and run, whatever you see, because you don't have a man. You really have the quarterback, and you're going to mirror him wherever he goes. Mike, as you can see, it says down here, you have number 3 strong. In this case, this is number 3 strong, so you were locked, in this case, from this guy right here. You two were locked man-to-man right there. And that's a quick overview of cover 1. So again, it's man-to-man. Everybody's covered up man-to-man. And the free safety is deeper than everybody. Mike, you've got the number 3 to your side. Will, you don't have number 3, so you're going to mirror the quarterback and get depth. Finally, for cover 1, free, you are the center fielder. Nobody can get behind you. You drift, and then you break in the ball. Once the ball goes in the air, then the free is going to run to it. Once the ball's thrown, the free will be moving, whether the ball's thrown to number 1, number 2, number 3. But you don't break until the ball's thrown, because on some occasions, you may have a couple vertical threats, and the corner is counting on you to be over the top, as we say, and we'll explain later. You need to be behind the ball. Everybody else will be aggressive man-to-man. Now the coverage we're going to look at tomorrow is cover 3. Like we're going to rush 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are rushing. In this case, we're playing thirds. Now this is a zone defense. Previous was a man defense. This is a zone. Cover 3 is a zone. This corner has outside third. This corner has outside third over here. The free safety has deep third in the middle. If you are a corner or a free, your job is to make sure no one gets behind you. You have any vertical threats. And by vertical threats, we mean if a receiver goes this way up the field. If he goes vertical, he is yours. You are the vertical protector in your particular zone. So we're dividing it into thirds like we showed you on an earlier slide. Outside third, middle third, and outside third. Now underneath this, we're going to play with the bear and joker. You are flat to the out. As we showed you in an earlier slide, this is the flat area, and then the out area is even further wider out this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to work to the flat, putting our eyes towards number 1. If we don't have a threat here, or we don't have any contact in the flat, then we're going to continue to widen to the out. In zone, we're going to sneak a peek back to the quarterback and back to the receivers who might be in your area. What we don't want to do is cover grass. You know, on this side of the football, there's only one receiver. So if the joker gets past, he should flash his eyes right away, number 1, see where he's going. If he goes to the out, then we're going to jump the out, and the corner will be over the top. If he does a hitch, then we're going to run to the hitch, and again, the corner will be over the top. But pre-snap, have an idea about who's on your side of the football. And right now, there's really only one threat vertical. And so it's almost like we're double teaming him with one guy underneath, in this case a joker, and one guy over top who is the corner. Over here again, Barry, you're the flat player. You really have 2 vertical threats. But in a minute, you're going to find out that you got a little help on number 2. Really, your focus is number 1. So when you get a pass read, you're going to open your eyes up number 1, looking for the out, looking for the hitch. If he goes vertical, we're going to sink underneath it. A sink technique means as you go flat out, if you don't have anything coming your way, you can continue to get a little depth as long as the quarterback is getting depth. If he breaks, and we've got a couple of alarms that's got to go off. Cover 3 is zone coverage, deep thirds by the corners and the free. Now, Will and Mike, your job's a little bit different. You read number 2 to number 1. So here's the Mike linebacker. Here's the number 2 receiver. You have a number 2. Over here, there is no number 2 for the Will. But your job is to read number 2 to number 1. So when the ball is snapped, if I'm the Mike, I put my eyes on number 2. If he goes vertical, which is straight up the field, we're going to bump, collide, and run with him. You're going to stay with him. Now, this can be a mismatch a little bit of some sort, but you still have the free over the top. And you're free to run with the vertical route here. If you see number 2 come in, if he comes in this way, then you're going to stop, collide, and try to interfere with his route. He's starting outside of you, you're starting inside of him, and if he comes in, step up, collide him, try to take him off his route, and we'll take care of that as we go post, or as we go to the hook to the curl. This is a hook area. He comes into the hook, collide him, he's yours. This Will backer over here, he doesn't have number 2, so he's thinking hook to curl and dig, and post to dig, I should say. Now, the post route is this. If this guy runs that route, you should be sinking underneath it. That's a post route. You should be underneath it. The quarterback should have to throw over you to get to him. So as you go to the hook, then to the curl, then you're thinking about the post, which is a deep vertical route by the wider receiver, or a dig route, in which case a dig route looks like this. It goes vertically up the field, and he's coming over here. hook to curl to dig. Try to get underneath and collide any route you see coming to the inside. So that's pretty much it for cover 3, fellas, boys. It's a zone. Corner deep third, free safety, middle third. The Bear and Joker, you are flat to out players. Will and Mike, you play the hook. Let's just look at it. Here's a hook. Here's a hook area. Here's the curl area. Here's the curl area. And then if you have no action in either, then you're going to continue to sink, looking for the post over the top with the dig coming under. And again, we collide any receivers we see. So that's a little overview of cover 3, which you should be ready for tomorrow. Thank you.